Hi, everybody. Welcome to Silver Tears Tarot. Under the heading of, I predicted that I would come back today where I wasn't going to do a video and actually do one because I do one all the time. And we totally saw this coming. I wanted to jump in today and kind of answer a question that has been coming up in the emails a lot lately, and it's about how your person is seeing you. It'll be one of these Soulmate Snapshot readings, so it's kind of a quick reading. They don't usually last as long as the other ones, but we just kind of go real deep, real quickly, and just get the real deal. And so it may not, like I said, be super long, but it hopefully will be revealing. And it's going to be general for this collective, though, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. But if it resonates with you, if you're part of this collective, you may want to subscribe or check out some of the other messages. And so, like I said, we're going to be looking into how your person is seeing you, like what they're seeing about you, what is happening as they think about you today in today's energy. We're going to start by looking at today's energy and just kind of getting that energetic backdrop. And that was quick. All right, then. And this is very consistent with what I think I was feeling. And I was like, as I was looking at the questions in the email and I was just kind of going through email and trying to figure out, well, you comb through, you look for patterns. And I was thinking there's definitely a feeling of people changing in almost just the way they're seeing the whole situation, and with it the way they're seeing you. Here's that change. So this is the Tower card, and it talks about tumultuous change. That's the change energy of today overall, though, so you may be feeling that a little bit with yourself as well. And you'll have to evaluate that, but I'm feeling like this is a shared energy. But what I was feeling is more around your person. So we've also got the Two of Swords. Okay, that decision is coming to a head. We've seen a lot of discussion around decisions, and this is going to be the right day to make that decision. So with the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords does make a very definitive decision very quickly. But this one could be pretty significant about a way of life. The rest of these are not part of it, about a way of life. And so it's disruptive, this decision that has to be made, and I'm feeling very much like this is on your person's part right now, is disruptive to their way of life, but this is a day where they're quite capable of doing it. They've been building up to this, it feels like, or the whole thing. We've seen a tower not wanting to fall with your person. I'm wondering if this is it. We also had one that was crumbling just a couple of days ago. The whole tower was coming down, and that's not necessarily something that happens instantaneously. Like sometimes it is just a flash of realization, but in some cases it's a series of them, and I get the sense here that this is culminating as a result of everything that we've already seen. But it's disruptive to the household, disruptive to their way of life. But we know from readings some time ago, we started to see that disillusionment in them with regard to their way of life. And we also, we've seen that there definitely been some changes happening. It's not surprising that they would necessitate or even facilitate in some cases additional changes. Let's see, we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. Oh, somebody knows where their healing is. And the Page of Wands in reverse, but there's not very much they can do about it. I get this sense of tied hands with the Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands is usually just pretty curious and outgoing, willing to try new things, willing to look into new things. This Nine of Wands talks about understanding healing and understanding where you are healed or where your person is healed. It's a pretty powerful feeling because it's walls that are no longer being guarded, But with this Page of Wands, I question the ability to do much about it. So even though, and maybe because of things that are changing in their way of life and in their potentially even in their household, like their everyday life, they may have really realized some things. We've seen some extreme awareness on their part in some cases. But there's also, with this Page of Wands, it's not necessarily an ability to do very much about it. So it's got that hands being tied sort of feeling to it. Then we've got the Hermit in reverse. All right, so this is significant and helpful. The Hermit in reverse is telling us about how your person has gone into their thinking cave, and the Hermit in reverse usually means one of two things for me. Either someone is not going into their thinking cave, which we know this person already did, or they're rejecting or haven't gotten to what they really need to accomplish there as far as the messages that they were seeking. So there's a chance here. What I'm feeling is that they probably just don't have all of the messages they were seeking. So they went in looking for some answers and they got some, but they didn't get some. And some of the ones that didn't come out are pretty critical. So there's a feeling of being aware of missing some information. This Four of Pentacles is talking about letting go. We're seeing it again, but yet things are not yet over. There's a need to go on a quest here. There's a need to go on a quest toward happiness, and your person is feeling it, particularly in light of this newest tower. But the feeling of something not being over yet is almost just this nagging, difficult sort of feeling because they also, we've seen this also in previous readings, feel like they can't get to it because of, and this is shared with you, that Four of Pentacles feeling of not necessarily being able to let go. So I don't know. That might have been some of what came out in yesterday's extended. Yesterday's extended was kind of intense. I don't know what got into it, but it was just very direct, very intense. And one of the things that came out was that there are certainly some things to let go. This is suggesting that until that happens for your person on their side, they're going to have a tough time moving forward and going on this quest that they know they want to go on and need to go on, because that's going to end up in a place of happiness. Whew, so that's a little heavy, but that's today's current energetic backdrop. So now we're going to look into how they're seeing you. So it looks like they've got a lot going on, and that's why we get the energetic backdrop. So Six of Earth in reverse. Here it is again. This is like that Six of Pentacles. It's in reverse, so it's definitely not balanced the way that it's feeling here. But this is that card of equal give and take. They are feeling some regret about what they've left on the table, what they've done. And they have learned some things that have really helped to illustrate for them the importance of what they've done. There's a lot of a sense of them wanting to pair up here with the Two of Chalices. I can tell you from this energy, they are not ready to do that. We know from yesterday's energy that you're probably still working through some things as well. But this is part of, yesterday we were asking about what is this energy of return? What is drawing them back? And what's drawing them back in part is like they're being flung back your direction. They almost have no choice in the matter. It's kind of intense the way that this is coming across. There's still this impasse, this thing that they feel like they don't know how to get past, but yet they're like, I don't have a bridge built here. I haven't figured out how I'm going to meet in the middle. Don't have a bridge built, and here I come. Like, I've got to have this figured out by the time I get to it. And so they're just approaching this situation with you, and they know they want to pair up. They've got this sense of partnership, but they also realize that they've not treated you right in the past, and they haven't figured out how they're going to bridge that. They just know that with this inevitability energy coming out again over here, things with you are inevitable. They are part of what is incomplete over here with the World card in reverse. And this is a lot of just energy that wants to come out of the gate but isn't being allowed to for some reason. All right, so we've got the Magician. This is that feeling of not being able to manifest what they want to be able to manifest. We know that they can, but they're feeling like their hands are tied. We saw that over here as well. They're feeling like they can't manifest it, and yet they're feeling like it's like they can't reach this Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is representing you. That is, if they're looking at truly how they see you, this is a powerful energy. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing. She's complete. She's sure of herself. She has excellent self-worth. She is the full package. She's everything that you would ever hope for, but you've got to be like a king of pentacles to feel like you could even deserve that. And they are not entirely feeling like they're there yet, which is why I was saying that even with this Two of Cups, that they feel when they're feeling kind of giddy with things, like, and they do get that way. They get giddy with it and they want to be close to you, but they don't feel like they're in a place where they can. They are in a place where they're not able to get away from. So this eight of chalices is a need to go on a quest toward making the Nine of chalices right. And right now they're not feeling like they're in a place where they can do that. So remember we saw that Lover's card that would come out in reverse all the time, though, earlier on, when I was doing these readings, and it was coming out and saying, well, there's a choice to be made in love here, but your person feels like it is a choice that isn't really a choice, you know. And as time goes on, your person has figured out, hold on, this is a choice. But they feel like their hands are tied. They haven't figured out how to make it so that they actually do have a choice in this. They haven't figured out how to go toward what they want. They feel like they're cut off. They feel like they're being blocked in some way. And they're being blocked from something that is incredibly magical to them. This Queen of Pentacles. You know, they're being blocked and yet they're inevitably moving this direction. There's just this sense of inevitability. Ooh, we got a couple of cards, but not the one that fell on the floor. So I'm standing, and when I drop them on the floor, they go all the way down there. Okay, so we've got the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles in the upright, and it's here with the Six of Coins. That's the same sort of energy in the reverse. The Six of Pentacles in the upright is really kind of talking about how this is what it's interesting because what it really feels like, it almost has that Six of Cups nostalgia energy, because they're wishing they could go back and do things the way that they meant to do things, or that they should have done things, the way that they should have partnered with you in the first place. And oh, we don't want these. It feels like they have this longing for it, and they want to tell you that, but they don't feel like they can tell you that. There's just so much clouding them up and going on over here that just kind of takes away from their ability to move forward and to say what they need to say. But this Seven of Wands, this is that energy of them not really being able to do anything other than move forward. That inevitability of the Knight of Pentacles matches up with this Seven of Wands. This is a confidence to move forward, but it's almost like a drive to move forward. It's got, it feels very much to me like it's willpower. There's willpower associated with this, but there's also the promise of happiness and healing. So they feel like you heal them. They really feel like you heal them. And with this Ten of Swords in reverse, that's kind of what comes out most strongly. You also give them a sense of perspective, but it's like they can see forever when they look into your eyes. There's something really special about looking into your eyes. And this card, this is the typical tarot deck is 78 cards, and this is the 79th card in this deck. It is all about perspective and about what you can see from different places, and about how things change as your position changes, so does your perspective. And so this is something that you bring for them, and it's a sense of happiness, that overwhelming feeling of wanting to be in your arms and nurtured by you, and yet this feeling that they kind of aren't able to resolve things in their life enough to get to that place. A lot of frustration there. Okay, let's see what you can be doing about it. That's another one of those questions that comes out an awful lot. Okay, yeah, I get what this person is feeling. They're in a very difficult place, but is there anything I can be doing? Because I've often told you that, anything that you do on your end helps to move your person along as well. And so anything that they're doing that is successful, or, that helps them out on their end, helps you also. And so when we look at that, I mean, to a certain degree, it's healing yourself, but let's see what comes out. So we've got the Father of Wind. Okay, so this is the Father of Wind is a very logical sort of thing, a very logical sort of energy, but can sometimes be a little too logical. And so this is more of an admonition to say, don't be in your head about this. There's definitely going to be a sense of this that where you look at it and you're able to apply a lot of reason and a lot of logic and make sense about it. But one of the best things that you can do for this situation is not apply too much logic to it. There's going to be a certain degree of just energy from your person and their shifting feelings and in this shifting environment. So we've got the Five of Pentacles. That is the healing element. It's letting yourself in from out in the cold. It's helping yourself with some of these things that only you are truly able to help yourself with, and providing a little bit of like a routine or a structure to your life that maybe has been missing in the past. So if you've noticed that your workouts have fallen off track, or your eating has fallen off track, or there's something about you that you want to change that you think would make yourself a little bit more stable, this is a great time to do it. Even just creating that stability within yourself is going to be really helpful. And along with this lesson here, or this resolution of some lessons, this is big. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is such a big lesson that no one expects you to just go out and find the key to this and let yourself in from out in the cold and solve all of your abandonment and rejection issues. Like, that's not really what this is, but you are encouraged to work in the direction to solve those. And one of the ways that you'll be able to employ that is through this building of ritual, building of something that helps to make things a little bit more solid for you. Look for useful routine, things that help to build you up. But there's also this Five of Swords in reverse, and I love this because this one is all about not choosing the wrong battles. You only have so much energy, and there is no need to be choosing battles that don't work for you, don't apply to your situation, and especially things where you don't actually have very much control or influence. There are going to be some places where you do have more control and influence, and you're encouraged to do that. So you have the Eight of Wands in reverse here, and this one is saying not to jump in to communicate in the event that if you're on the fence about it and you're not sure if it's a good thing to do, it may be a good idea to hold off at this time, because it's going to create an energy that causes your person to have to react, and their reaction may not be helpful to either of you. You know, it seems like there's a lot of awkward in that reaction, but there's also a lot of a potential to scar you further, and we need to try and avoid that. So we've got the Six of Wands here. This is just a bit of a reminder. So it's a super interesting reminder because it's got a sense of motion with the boat and everything, but it's a reminder of your success, or you need a reminder of your success. You can take this time to turn around and see how far up the mountain you have traveled, because you're always kind of, you're able to see one or the other. You can see up the mountain to see how far you have left to go, or you can see down it to see how far you've traveled. Don't forget to look back to see how far you've traveled. That's going to be very uplifting to you and kind of help you as you're working through particularly these lessons represented by the Five of Pentacles. And the ones that come out especially are around abandonment and rejection for me at this time. But this is kind of a big piece of what you've probably been working on in this entire soulmate experience. We've got this Temperance card that's in the reverse, and this one is all about not just a lack of balance, but a specific lack of balance that is brought on by not being able to let go of what you need to let go of, and wanting to understand everything that's coming, or all the answers around your person, or just really having a hard time being patient and allowing for things to unfold, because there's definitely a sense that your person has some things to go through in the meantime. This Temperance is representative of not being able to be patient and not being able to wait for them to work through those things. But if they can't work through those things, they're not going to be able to be successful with you. So it's an important distinction to make, but it's It's a difficult place to be because it doesn't lessen the desire to understand what's happening. And we've got the Knight of Swords here. So you may notice, and this is part of why it's wise to try and enact a little bit of patience in there. You've got this Knight of Swords here that is that's a tough one. The Knight of Swords is a skittishness on your part. It's a skittishness on your part that you probably haven't seen yet because you probably haven't been exposed to the situation that's going to generate it. But you are going to have some time to think about it when it arises. And yet you're not going to want to. Okay, so, but what you can do to help your person, which that was the question that we were originally asking, when it happens, when you get to this situation that finds you feeling a little bit skittish, this is all tied together. So when you find yourself in that situation that makes you feel like you're being a little bit skittish, take the moment that comes with it. Resist the urge to push it away and not think of it. Embrace it and let it be part of you. That's going to be part of what helps to give you this temperance and help you with this balance. It's also going to be a part of what ultimately creates real healing for you. So, it is once again around healing, but it's also about not getting up into your head and fighting all the wrong battles, you know. Also, you're encouraged to create some healthy rituals, some healthy processes that you do, routines on a daily basis, weekly basis that are going to help you out. And that's pretty powerful. That is what you can be doing in the background. It certainly would be something that would help to keep you busy, but it's also something that will help you to help your person as they're working through things. And we see that, you know, they really want to be closer to you. They have this sense of wanting to reach out, and in some cases, they have reached out, as we've seen, but they've got so much going on in their own personal lives here. It could be pretty difficult for them to communicate properly. And so, it helps to understand how they're seeing you. I think the most important part that came out over here was this Queen of Pentacles and probably this Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is more how they see themselves approaching you, and it's slowly but surely. And the Queen of Pentacles is in that, oh my goodness, that's a full package sort of situation. I mean, of course, it's important that you help to take their pain away and that you are that you're the one that they envision themselves um, really just kind of that connection with you. They don't know exactly how to make it happen, but they've got this connection that's so strong in the energy there. And you provide this new perspective that kind of helps them to constantly be reevaluating, but in the most exciting way. It's also a little scary to them, though. So, with so much going on, that can be very challenging for them to take it all in. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. That has been your soulmate snapshot for today. You get a little bit of an idea of how this person is seeing you. One of the things that I've not noticed coming out so much, your person has a tendency to not want to talk about their feelings, not show their feelings. So we're going to get into feelings here in a little bit. And I think tomorrow we'll do a deep dive on how they're feeling about you and about the situation. And that is, I think that's what we'll do. So thanks so much for being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.